All right, welcome back, guys. Uh, Welcome to the third week of the boot camp, and today I will be doing a couple of things that will familiarize us with the Excel, how it works, and understanding some other things. So I'll go to my Windows and open Excel. I'll just put it in the search bar. Okay, my Excel is up. I really need one of these, and I'll create a new workbook, the one we'll be using in this video. And okay, so I'll be trying to create a multiplication table and in such a way that we have better understanding of how the formula in Excel works and what we drag or copy from one cells to another. So we have better understanding of how it works. So, all right, come on, guys. And as you all know, the multiplication table at the back of an exercise book, and you know it's going to have on the first column and the first row, we have a same number that is the number we're trying to multiply each other with to the last one of it. So let's say we have one, we have two, three, and you can drag. Let's say we are creating for 15, and I will do the same thing for the vertical axis, for the first vertical axis, and I'll paste as transpose. All right, so we have the background of our multiplication table. And what I want to do next is uh, populate the rest of the answers. That is, 2 times 2 will give us 4, and 3 times 2 will give us 6. And when I do 10 times, uh, 14 will give us 140, like that, till the last one of it, which is cells 015. But I don't have to do it one after the other. Rather, I will just try work on my formula, and I'm trying to multiply whatever we have here times on the first row, because we all know 2 times 1 will still give us 2, times 3 is 3, everything times 1 is 1. But the next one, which is 2 times 2, should give us 4, correct, which is 4. And we want it to be the same thing down. 2 times 2, 4 times 3, 6. So when I drag down, it won't work because the formula is changing. It doesn't understand, like what we have here is A3 times B2, which is this B2, this B3, which is not supposed to be, which is supposed to be 2 times 3, 6, and 2 times 4 should be the next one, 8. So we can go back, let's say we clear this up, and since we want everything, we want this column, we want to keep it constant, but we want the row to be changing. And also, we want this on the row, we want to fix the row, we want to make the row constant here, but the column will be changing. So we can change our formula and make on the cell reference for the A column, we make the row to be changing and we keep the column constant. Then we apply our dollar sign for the A. And also for the B1 reference, we want the column to be changing, but we want to keep the row constant. So we make uh, absolute for our column to the row by using the dollar sign, and I click on enter. Yeah, you think nothing happened, just like what we did before, but our formula has changes from ordinary A2 times B2 to dollar sign A2 times B dollar sign 1. And now when I drag it down, Okay, 2 times 15 is 30. Okay, this is correct. And let's say maybe it works across the multiplication column that we have also. So I'll drag now from the left, I'll drag to the right hand side to the 15, which is a whole column. Okay, voila. Look like it's work. And 15 times, let's say 15 times 10, what do we have? Supposed to have 150, which is correct. And we name this sheet multiplication table. Let's call this table one because we try a couple of other things with it. And the next thing will be looking upon here is conditional formatting. And before we look at the conditional formatting, let me say something about our formula also again. And if you check for the one we created ourselves before Excel generate the rest of it, and you see the B and the A. And okay, let's go to the next one, which is column C, and check the formula. You see the A still remain constant, just that the column has changes from B to C. Okay, let me check for the next one. You see what we have? That is for everything on this row. You have to keep uh, the row constant on the A column, but you'll be changing the column. You'll be changing the column here while you're keeping the row constant. That is when we drag down. Okay, let's check for the cell reference C10 and see what we have. You see, we still have the same 3 times 10. That is what in our formula, everything is changing on the A column and everything is changing on the first row. Like that till we arrive at here. So if you check what we have here, we'll be having 15 times 15. And if you check, you see 15 times 15. That's how it comes. And there are other things we can do with this idea, this multiplication table, just to give us sense or ideas and what we can do with the Excel formula and what other things entails and how the cells reference interfere with each other. All right, moving on to the conditional formatting. So I'll create another sheet and I'll name this conditional formatting. So I can copy everything I have here and I'll paste it here. And if you check, the formula is still there, and you can paste as value just to remove the formula behind it. But that's not necessary. You just want to try how to apply conditional formatting. All right. So moving on to conditional formatting. The conditional formatting can be found on the home ribbon, and the first tab on the home ribbon is the clipboard. We have the font, we have the alignment, the number, and we have the style. Under the style, we find our conditional formatting, and let's check what it entails on conditional formatting. It said easily spot trend and pattern in your data using bar, columns, colors, icon to visually highlight any important value. That is, you are trying to spotlight uh, our data based on the condition, just like the name said, conditional formatting. We are formatting our table, our sheet, our data condition with a set of conditions. And what we're trying to do here, okay, we can try for greater than, that is if the value is less than, if the value is between, if this value is equals to, or if it's containing text, and you can do it for top 10, bottom 10, top percentage. You can do color scheme also. You can do uh, values on the call icon sets, and you can create new rules. We can clear from the entire sheet or from the selected sheet. And we can also manage, and this may be one we have created one before and you still want to continue. And we can even start our setting it from here also. So this one, I'll be trying to format anything that is greater than 100, that is from 101 upward. I'll try to format them in a blue color. So I'll highlight everything here and I'll click on my conditional formatting, and I'll on the drop down where I have greater than, and in the box I'll input 100. And what color do I want it to be? I can leave it as red, which is showing there, and I can change this as well. I can make it a green. I can create a custom one for myself. When I click on OK, it's pop up this window where I can change the font and other things. Okay, let's change the font color. I want it to be white and the background color to be yellow. If I don't want a sales border, I can apply that. If I want to apply now the sales border, I'm picking the thicker one, and for all the sales border, and I click OK, OK, and now we have all the values that are greater than 100 in yellow, uh, color coded. That's not all. I can still do for the one that is lesser than, maybe that is greater than 50 upward. Okay, let's do for 50 upward. Or I can say for value that is lesser than 50, and I change this to 50, and I can do a custom format also, and I can pick a different borderline and battery. Apply everything, apply the whole sales border, and click on OK. I apply a fill color. I want it to be, uh, let's say red. Should we see? Let's use orange, and I can create the font color. So I can make this uh, orange. I can make this light blue. There's no rules depending on how you want your data to look like, how you want to present your data. And when I click on OK, that doesn't come out great, but it's still visible, and we can go back again and try reformat it. And now I want the font color. Let me change that. I'll just put it to light yellow. I think that should come out better. Let's try. And OK, still didn't work. Oh, I have to redo the fill color, and we're picking orange font. Return it back to. No, let's just keep this as green. It should definitely show well. And the sales border, you can apply this sales border anyone you want, any of your choice. Where I just pick a random one, and you know you can try this with yourself by yourself and try the one that will look more appealing. And now we have format anything that is less than 50 and anything that is greater than 100. Okay. And we can try another one and show the one that is between two numbers. Okay. Between two numbers. And this time around, I want the that is between 51 and, okay, let's say 50 and 100. And I'll try using a costume for this also. And the borderline, you can pick anyone I want, or just leave it with no border. Okay, let's say none. And the fonts, and put the color to be black. And I can fill the middle, the background color, I can make it blue. Let me see the font again. Black, blue. Alright, you can click on OK, and we can apply the sales border just the way we want it to be like. We're just trying things out here, and I'll click on OK. Voila, we have our conditional formatting uh, for different conditions. And if should I change any value here that is greater than 100, you see how it's going to change back to yellow. Oh, that that thing, okay, 100, 101, 101. That's what we set it for, 101 to be on yellow, then anything that is less than 101 and to be any other color. And we have said that blue color to be from 50 to 100. And we have said from anything less than 50 to be orange. And let me change the random one inside this is to let's say 50. See the color and change anyone here. Let's say I'm changing it to 10. So we have and we have done some things to our multiplication tables which make it incorrect. But for the purpose of uh, the conditional formatting exercise, so we have better understanding of it. All right, that's that on conditional formatting. And the next one we want to do here is uh, how to use some functions, VLOOKUPs, and how we can use if functions to uh, prepare our data for how we want our data to look before we start performing our analysis. So yeah, I will try to create a dummy data. Let's say our boss has asked us to create a data for a class of GS1 in a school, and we know that data is going to have admission number, is going to have their name, surname, their math score, their English score, and we can create this. And let's say the first thing we want to do on our data is creating a serial number. And let's say the serial number is uh, 122 329. And let me drag down, just create a random one. Okay, let me say 122 3 4 5 and 122 3 6 7. This is serial number, and it could have been generated differently. Maybe the student was uh, admitted on the 12 months of 2023 on the 29, but we have 45 years, so it doesn't really make any sense that. But it's a serial number. It could be anything, any form you've come up with different idea. Let's say there are just 10 students in the class. Okay, this is having a decimal place, so I'll use conditional formatting to remove. I say conditional format, I'll reformat it to be a whole number, and I can decrease the decimal point on the home tab ribbon and come to the number. I can reduce the decimal place. It's not working that way, so I can try Control 1, and I'll select number, and I'll reduce the decimal place, and I click on OK. All right, and the class. Next thing I would like to include in my sheet is the class. What class am I working with? As we all know, we're working for GS1 class, GSS1, and you can drag this down. This is uniform. Everybody here is GS1. That didn't work. So, you know, Excel play around and think of things you could need. The other time we were trying to create the serial number, it didn't change the number by itself. And now it's changing the number. So I'll just copy one of it and I'll highlight the whole sales value I want to change it. I'll paste. And here we have a duplicate value here. Now I'll change this to, let me change this to 70. You have 70, we don't have 70. So I have this 70. And the next thing I would like to do is admission number. I'll create admission number. All this data, they might be provided and they might not be provided. So like in a scenario where they are not provided, we are just doing it from the start. That we are the one doing the data entry ourselves. Admission number, short form number. And I would like to use the class type and the serial number to create the admission number. What can we use it? You can join this number together. You can write GS GSS1, and you can put slash between it and 122 329. I've just copied what's on cell A2 along with C2. I've copied what's on C2 slash cells A1. But it's going to be a tedious work for me to now start doing it for the rest of them. Imagine we are even having a lot of students greater than 10. So I can concatenate. That is, I can join the two columns. That is the two cells. I can join them together, and you can use the function concat, concatenate. It said join several text string into one strings. And what's text one? This is our text one. I want the JSON to be first by comma. What's our text two? And we don't have text three, just the two number. And when I press enter, we have this, but we don't have the slash. How can we do about this? So you have to go back to our formula, or we type it from the beginning again. So I'll take that equals concatenate, pop up, select that, and my first number, comma. And whenever you're putting the text string in your formula, you need to let Excel know that it's a text strings, or else it's not text string. You don't have to put a quotation mark. You have to put your text string in a quotation mark, and I'll put a slash, close quotation, and I'll apply comma, then select the serial number and close brackets. I have enter. And now we have our admission number. Okay, the next thing we want to do here is the name. Let's say first name, and now we have surname, and I'll create a random name. I'll use my name, my surname, and I'll use Abiola, Abiola Sadiq, Dick. The next one I want to use Joy, Richman, and I'll create for Anthony, Anthony, Anthony Boss. I can create for Wale, and what's Wale's name? Adeyemi. Create next one, Shakira, Shakira. So we have females in our class also. Shakira, Shakira, Abiodun, and we just say Abe. Next one would be uh, Temitope, Temitope, Lawale, and you can say Yusuf. Okay, let's just put it random. Yusuf, Yusuf, uh, Akinola, and create for the last one the name. Okay, Eze, Chris. We have name. We can still use. We have first name. We have second name. We have surname. I mean, and we can create a full name. Full name would be the combination of first name and the surname. And we're trying to create our full name. You can still use concatenate as well. But this time around, I won't be using the function, but I'll be using some other means to do it, which is equals to the first name, and I'll be putting ampersand this time around since we're not using the concatenate function. Ampersand, and I'll select the surname, and we have our name readily made. And when we drag it down, we have for the rest of them. But it shows that in our name there's no space between the first name and the surname, so we have to redo our formula also again, and just like we did for concatenate, and this time around, instead of slash, we're using space. And then after the D2, we create a quotation mark. I'll just open and close one, and I'll put space between it. And after that, I'll put another ampersand and enter. And when I drag down here, our name is well formatted here. And the next thing I would like to uh, show here is how we write our name, maybe everything to be in capital letter. We can do for lowercase, and we can do for a proper sentence also. So the first one I'll be doing is capital letter. We are trying to capitalize cap, our full name, which is equals, we'll be using the function upper to capitalize the text string, and here is a upper just selecting the text. You can type a text or we just make a cells, just make a reference to a cell, create an F2 and close brackets, enter. We have Aziz Akitonde in capital letter, so I can double tap on this and we have everything in capital letter. The next one I want to show is lower letter. I'm trying to convert this capital letter back to lower letter. Let me call this lower. And the function we'll be using here is lower. Lower. Just like I did for the capital letter, select this. I can select anyone I want. It work for any text strings, and I'll close brackets, enter also. So I have everything back in smaller case, small alphabet, and I can still do for a proper sentence. Let me call this proper equals in the function as it says proper. Open brackets, select making my cell reference as H2, and I click enter. We have our name and enter. So that's about concatenate, cap of text string, lowercase and proper. In this lesson, we have learned how to use the concatenate, how we can join two words in different cells. And also, we'll be trying another one. Since we try the concatenate, the joining of two values in two different cells together, we can do split also. And we can do trim, we can do, there are a couple of things you can do here. So let's try to split. That is, you're trying to separate the first name and the surname in a different column, just like what we have here. So I'll just copy the first name and the second name. So I'm trying to create that. And I'll use the function split. That's split. Open bracket. Is there any function like that? I'm not sure if this is correct. No. Let me check. What's that function again? Let me use chat GPT. What function to split text? Did I even spell that right in the function? Equals split. I did it in Excel. And say this will open convert text column, blah blah blah. Oh, look like there's no a function for it, but we can use uh, the one that we have on the ribbon, and which you should be under data, and can it be on group? On group? No. Text to text column. Can use text column and fix proper. This is not going to work because the preview here is not there. So we'll leave that for now, and let's move on to another thing here. I'll name this GS1, GS1 version 1, because we're still doing other things with GS1 data. But this time around, I'll be copying from A to F, and I don't need the rest of this. You have this data here. Control C. We'll create another one. And paste. We have control V, and this time around I would like to paste as value, so the formula won't be there. Control C, control V, control paste as value. I'll call this uh, math class. It's called class, and now I say the math score. This is the data we're using to keep their math score. And as this happened because he's a brilliant guy at 89 in mathematics. And Abiola Sadiq is doing not bad. He has 75. And Joy, she's a hardworking girl. She scored 76. And Anthony also is still top of the class, but it's not doing that bad. 65. And Wally is not so serious. From the result we got, scored 56. And Shakira, she barely comes to classes, so she scored 35. And Timitope scored 55 also. And Yusuf Akinola scored uh, also 72. And he's a Chris. That boy is good for real, but not in English class. Scored 60, 64. And we can create another sheet to keep for our English score. Now call this uh, English English class. We are still keeping the record for the same set of students. So I'll copy everything I have here, Control C, and I'll paste here as value, Control V, then Control, then select paste as value. Now I'll name this English. I'm trying to keep the score. Aziz had 56 in English. Abiola had, who's that guy? It's a British guy at 74. And Joy at 56 and 84. 29, 62. And from the result I saw here, Tim Tope had 45 in English. And Yusuf Akina had 66. And Isaac has 51. Now we have two details now. We have the English and the maths, and we have been asked to create the average score. We have been asked to create an average score of both English and math of every student. That is their average score. How can we do that? That's where we will be applying VLOOKUPs. And so we try to create that on another sheet, and we are still working on the same set of students. And I'll paste this here. You can name this average AVG underscore student or score. Press enter. And I'll call this uh, VLOOKUPs. I'll call this maths, and the other one English. And I'll call this AVG score underscore score. So I'm trying to bring the values of what we have here for maths and the English. I'm trying to bring the both data down here. And copy and paste here is easy to do. But what happens when our data is not aligning the way it is on the rest of the data? Now this call, let's say we have Aziz, which is on the first list. Okay, let's just reformat this. Let's sort this. We can sort data. Let's select all of this and go to my sort under data tab. And what do I want to sort it with? Let me sort with. I'll sort with first name. Let me sort with first name. I can sort with anything. You can sort with anything, and you can sort with admission number because it all starts with the same thing, and you can sort with it, but it will now be using the last word. You know how to sort work now. So the one that will change and give us the kind of sense we want, we'll be using the first name to sort it. And Go to the sort. When you go to the sort, you have this pop-up window, and we can add the level, or we select them. We are trying to create another one. We are using first name. We want it A to Z, or let's say we want it Z to A. Then click on OK. Then we have our data has been sort alphabetically from uh, higher rank to lower rank. That is descending. Sorry, yes, descending. So now the way the names are arranged here is not the same they are arranged on this sheet and on this sheet. But we want to bring the math score and English score together in such a way we'll be able to calculate the average. There are a couple of functions that we'll have used that I will skip this, but for learning sake, for the basic knowledge, we go with the simplest one first, but it will take more of time. And where we are good with this, we can move on to the advanced one. So I'll try to bring the mask score for Yusuf, which is where's Yusuf? Yusuf is there, which is 72. It will take lots of time. I can even make mistake going from one sheet to another. Rather, I'll use the function VLOOKUPs. VLOOKUPs open bracket. And the way VLOOKUPs work, it's look something from the leftmost to the right. That's why it's been programmed. That is vertical lookup. We have other one too, H lookup, that's horizontal lookup. But today we'll be talking about VLOOKUPs, and we'll be using the admission number, or we can use the serial number likewise. Let us we're using the serial number to look up the values on our math class and our English class. And VLOOKUP will ask you what value are you looking for. The lookup value is the serial number, comma, and on what table are you trying to look that for. Our table can be on the same sheet with this, but it's not here, so we have to go to our math class and we highlight everything here, the whole cell, or just select if it's in table form, we just type in the table, but it's not in table. And I'll keep this as a reference, that is when I move it, it won't change, by putting a dollar sign. And I'll just highlight all of these and press the F4, or you press FM4 for those using the advanced keyboard. And I'll press comma. What am I looking for? Like what's my column index? Now math, our column index for the score is on. We start counting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 7. So it's going to be comma. Sorry. It's going to be, that's when I selected the math sheet. That's why it showed that again. So we select 7, comma, and what do we want? Is it approximate match or exact match? So we select on exact match and we close brackets and enter. We have you see 72 is now here now. And when I drag it down, we have everybody's score. You can cross check. You can use the function on the math. You can use the function sum. Open bracket. You're trying to sum up everything here, which is 587, 585. I mean, and when we come here, we can do the same thing here, just to see if you actually take everything. Alright, 585, which show that our VLOOKUP functions work correctly. And don't forget, you can still use some other means to cross check. Okay, we have done that for math class. The next one we're trying to do now is English. For the English class, and average score. And the coolest thing is you can copy everything here and paste it here. But you're still looking up for values on the math class. And on our English class, we have 1. The column index for our English score is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which means they are the same, is uniform. We can actually copy everything down here, up here, and paste it here. we just Ctrl Z, drag and try to rework on this. And here it's showing B2. We didn't keep this cells reference as absolute, and which is 1, sorry, A1, A2. That's what we're looking for. And we change, instead of math class, we select English. And we highlight the source range. And when we press, okay, there'll be a comma. And we didn't make this absolute. F4, or you press F. You see Fn. Fn is, can be beside your window key on the right or on the left. You see Fn. Hold down Fn, then you press on F4 to turn all of this to absolute. Then when I press enter, I have 66 for Yusuf in English class. Yusuf scored 66, which is correct. And you can as well start all over again with our VLOOKUP. Let's clear this. And I'm starting all over with my VLOOKUPs. VLOOKUPs. What am I looking for? Use the serial number and click on comma. What's in my table? Where's my table? My table is English, and its table range is from year to year. And we have already counted the column index for our English score is 7. And we want an approximate match. Click on approximate, close bracket. It still works. And I drag down. Let me check for Abiola Sodiq English score. It's still 74. So I go back to my average sheet. I can calculate the average for you by just dragging, because there are functions where it still works well for this by just dragging. And if you try to check, you see it has used this cell range on the H, while the one here use cell range of the G. And now we have our score. Let's call this total. Total score. And you can calculate an average mark for every student by just using the average function, average, open bracket. Then where are we calculating from? Calculating our average from. And its first cells can be, it is number 1, comma, and 2, and enter, which is 69. But what happens when you have more than 2 values? Maybe our values is from year, like 5 values. You don't have to start inputting it one after the other. You can just select the cells range, which is equals average, open bracket. Our cells range is G1, G2 to H2. You can type that out also. When I press enter, I still have my value, and I can drag down to calculate for the rest, and I can still do a sum for my average score. It didn't work the way I wanted, because it's calculating the sum of average score. But in the true sense, we are not having what we expected, so we can do the total average for every student equals average bracket, enter. Return this back to decimal place, and reduce the decimal number, which is 61.56. That's the average. And if we check the value we have here, the lowest value here is 41, and the highest value here is 74.5, and 74.5 is our highest value. Okay, let's say there was error for Anthony Boss, which the English mark wasn't 784, rather it was, where's Anthony? Anthony English was 75. And you just change Anthony's score to 75 here. Maybe I like this. I just color code it with yellow, and when I go to my average, see, it has changed. to 75 because the formula here is still live and everything that happened on this sheet, on this score, will reflect. And let me change the mark for Aziz Akitunde, who are 72.5 as average and score 89 marks. Let's say there was some errors in our calculation and he didn't score 89, rather score 45. And you can see there was some also change. And when we go to our average, where is Aziz Akitunde, it has changed it to 45. 45, and you see the average has recalculated itself also. And let's say this Shakira didn't score 35 and she scored 25 in mathematics instead. Shakira, Shakira, wait, Shakira. This one of the advantage of sorting your data. Now I'm looking for Shakira. I can't see Shakira. I can look it up with serial number Shakira Abbey, which is 122325. 122325. Okay, good. This Shakira, she scored 25, not 35. And go to average. You see Shakira score has reduced 122325. It's reduced to 25 also. And let's we see that Wale didn't score 54 also in mathematics. Let's try that one. And it is not 54, it is actually 41 in mathematics. For Wale, who has 122324, 122324, Wale, it is 41. And we go to our average, you see the average mark for Wale has also reduced and the mark has been changed back to 41. So I'll remove the color code that I have here back to normal. And I can do the score rating. Maybe the score rating for our score has been excellent and good and bad. Or let's say fail and call this pass and call this failed. So we'll say anything from 90 upward. Do you have anybody with 90 mark here? Let's read this back to today's mark, please. Okay. Let me try to rework our score so there will be someone with 90 mark. Let me turn this back to 89. And on this English, we had 66, 65, okay. And let me see, we have the average for us is like 367. I can redo all of this. It's 89. Let me give 89 as this again. 89. And 24. Let me see what's going. And now that I'm going, sorry about that, guys. I'm opening different sheets at the same time, like I'm going back and forth. I can use a view function here. I'll try to minimize this a bit, close this window, minimize this a bit, and I can go to my view and new window. So I have same sheet on two different tabs. See, we are saying the same thing here. And conditional formatting. This is our English, and this is our average score. This is our average score, and I'm trying to bring a score that we have 90, so we can use it for the next exercise. 89. Okay, let me go to English. Let me give us this again. 1988. Okay, we have 93 here now. So I can do for Shakira Bears 25, and let me see 25 again. Shakira Abe, okay. 24 or 21. Okay. Okay, we are good this way. Alright, so I can close any of the window, but don't close everything. Just one of it. And the next thing I want to do, the score said anybody with a score from 90 upward to 100 is considered as excellent. And anything from 40, anything from 40, shall we say 40? Let's just say anything less than 40 is fail. And anything from 41 to, we can change this. That's the way I can say 75 to 100 is excellent, and 41 to 74 is pass. Anything less than that is 74. So I can type the rating in this rating. And the next thing I want to do here is next thing I want to do here is oh my gosh. Alright. So I'm trying to do a rating in such a way that any score that is fall between this condition we stated here will be returning this value, and this value. Alright, so I want to create a, a if statement in such a way that based on the scores, it will be bringing out this text right in front of it. That is what rating you therefore into. So I'll be using the if function equals if, and what's my logical test. And the first one I would like to try for is uh, I'll try for if it's less than 40. That is if this logical test less than 40, comma, and what should happen? It should give us. I'm putting a text string again. So I'll open quotation mark, close quotation mark, and I'll write, sorry, equals if open this less than 40, what should happen? Open bracket, call that as fill, close quotation, comma. If not, I want it to give me excellent. Then I close quotation mark, close bracket, and equals. And you see the condition, the values there is greater than 40. So it returns excellent. That's just what we want. We work done, we tell Excel to do. And when we drag it down, you have two fields already. And it shows that only two of them fall under this category. That is, they are less than 40. But that's not, excuse me, that's not all we still want to show for pass. So you have to create a if functions that will nest our initial if function. Sorry. And I'll create if function again, open bracket, and this time around I'll still select the same cell reference equals, and now we have two values that we have to work with, which I have to use an AND function also, and I'll say this because I'm using two conditions here now. This I2 is greater than or equals to 41, comma, and also I2 is less than or equals to 74, and comma. And if this statement is true, I want it to return as close bracket. And if this statement doesn't meet the this statement is not true, then it should pass on to the next if function, and which you have to check if it's fall under the field, and if not, it will return excellent. So I'll close it with a close bracket for the and. I didn't close the and. I have to close this here, and now they are properly well indented. Let me bring it down. Let me press enter first, and now we'll show. Let me drag it down and show that 69 fall under the rating of pass, and when I drag it down, it will recalculate and put everybody where they belong. So we have two excellent, two fails, and the rest of the six students as pass. Okay, let me do a better understanding explanation. So I will enter. That's for our hand, and alt enter for the first if we created, and so we see how it works. So this is the first if condition we set. This bracket should go down also. Our first if condition, we read it from the bottom one. It said if I2 is less than 40, it should return failed, else return excellent. That if the statement is true, it return failed. If not, it will return excellent. But we still went ahead and create another function that is, and this time I was creating for two. It's just logic. I could have created that I don't want it to be excellent too. I want it to be pass. Where I use excellent here, then I have to create this for excellent and change the condition here to be for the one we have for excellent, that is greater than um, or equals to 75 and is less than or equals to 100. You see, all the three ratings that are in the functions. And let me bring this down to show our and condition. Our and condition is one holding that, but if function is saying this and condition as one, that is, if this condition inside this place, I2, for between these two numbers, it is true, then you return pass. If not, that doesn't concern me again. It has to pass it to the next if function. That's what happened there. I can press enter this way too. So we have our VLOOKUP mark, and every time it's called changes, again, I will try to minimize this and minimize this, and I'll bring out the new windows under the view tab and click for the new windows. So I have double screen now, and I can go to my average score, go back to English, the math score, and let's see Aziz again. He didn't score 89, he has actually scored 45. Let's see what will happen to our data here. To our data, which is Aziz is have a rating mark of pass of 71.5, and just pay attention to this column here. This Aziz, let me color code it so we see how it's changing, and pay attention to the pass, to the red text, and when I change Aziz to 78 or 79 here, you see it also changes and everything is recalculate. So Excel, you can create a couple of worksheets and you can link them together while performing your analysis or doing your calculations, and that's why it's called workbook. That is when we want to save it. You have to save it as workbook, save as. So we're saving to our desktop, and you have to specify a name. You say you have workbook. Let me call this section 3, and you can put your name. You actually created that file, and let's say I'm trying to save other than Excel workbook. Is I'm trying to save as comma delimiter, and you see what Excel is going to tell us. He said the selected file type does not support workbook that contain multiple sheets. To save only this active sheet, click OK. That's not what we want. That's if we save this file, we only have the data for the average score and we lose the rest of the sheets in our workbook. So that's why we have to save as workbook, save to desktop, call this section, let's go 3, and the author name is fine. Click on save. All right, that's complete for this section for today. I hope we learned a couple of things. And bonus, bonus. We talk about how Excel functions and the formula, how the cells reference, how we can make it absolute, so it can meet the conditions, the criteria we're trying to calculate. That is, we are keeping a particular column, we are keeping a particular cells or particular row. We're trying to keep it constant, and now we have created a multiplication table. Then we did conditional formatting. We formatted our multiplication table based on the condition, and we changed. I can readjust this so to clear the error there. Just to drag down, and I'll do for this also. And it is 50 and 100 should be blue, and from 100 and upward to be yellow, and from 50 downward, less than 50, we make it this. And from there, we proceed to data entry, where we have used concatenate to join serial number and the class, and also use a ampersand. You see another form to concatenate to join the first name and the surname together, and we use our upper function to turn our text to a capital letter. Also, we use the lower function to bring it back to a lower function, and use the proper to create a proper sentence. Then we move on to creating a score for the students for the English. Um, we calculated the sum. We did the same thing for English also, and we did the average mark using VLOOKUPs to bring the value for each student. On our average score using their serial number, we did for math, we did for English, then we calculate our average of the students, then we give them a score rating using the if function, and now we have set a conditions on the score ratings name uh, mark. And one other thing is just to take on from this video is on our multiplication table, the one we created with the conditional, we can add a row by just clicking on Control Shift plus. It will add additional row or part one we want. Maybe we want to insert a new row. You can create, let's say we create more of it. You can do that for the column also. Control Shift plus plus, and you can use Control minus to delete, and you can use Control 0 to hide, and Control Z to bring that back. Or use Control to hide, then we can highlight, then double tap to hide. That just will readjust it. So this one is closing to the ruler. So you just click right click and select the on hide. Then I'll re-expand this. And now I want to create a table name for my multiplication table. I want to name it multiplication table. And I can format this in such a way that it will occupy the whole of the table, and I can increase the sizes. Let's turn it to like 30. Okay, 48 is good enough. And okay, that's too big. But you can try whatever you like. I can make the text to be bold. I can change the font, area black, and I can use major center. And we have our major center. You can still press Alt HMC. Just practice this. Our shortcuts. You can check online for a lot of shortcuts in Excel. The more you can apply your shortcuts, the faster you'll be able to work with Excel, and the lesser time you spend with Excel. So we reformat this and turn the background color to be Let's pick green color and we'll make our text color to be white. And you can still add, make it italic, give it a line. All right, thank you. And we come to the end of today's section. I hope you enjoyed and you're able to grab a lot of things. If you don't understand anything, you can rewatch till you understand. And if you think you still don't understand, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to me at threadwayanalytics at gmail.com. All right, guys. See you next time and enjoy the rest of your day.